Solid waste management is a major problem in many countries. In developing countries, it is a major problem because we don't have adequate resources and appropriate technology to handle the issue. And so there are very few developing countries with proper sanitary landfills. Much of the waste is left in the environment as open dump sites, where the waste is all mixed together. The bones, the fruits, the papers, electronic waste, name it, it's all mixed together. And this is a challenge because it is useful waste which is left out there in the environment to rot, and this contributes to increase in greenhouse gases and hence the problem of climate change. And so a quick look to our country, you find a lot of garbage lying out there in the environment, in the river valleys, in most places. But if you look keenly at our dump sites, for example, or wherever there is waste, you find that there is a population of people who get attracted to the dump sites. And these people are busy doing things there. And a quick look at what they are doing, you find that they pick on valuable things from the waste and they sell this to other people, or they increase the value of whatever they collect, making it into other products for sale. And so we can say that dump sites or waste is a source of livelihood to these people. And hence, the main aim of this video is to look at how we can make sure that we handle our waste in such a way that it provides livelihood to more people in terms of employment, in terms of making sure that they earn a living, they earn money every day when they work, either by collecting waste from the dump sites or making sure that we don't take our waste to the dump site, but instead we process it in our estates, in our homes, to earn this money. And that is the reason why the video talks of how you can become a millionaire from dealing with waste management. Let me first of all address the aspect of government policy regarding solid waste management. The Environmental Management and Coordination Act, Waste Management Regulations of 2006 in Kenya, they stipulate clearly that nobody should pollute the environment in whichever way. Waste should only be disposed at designated places, and this waste must be sorted at the source. And so you find that NEMA has already come up with a CARA code, and this has been communicated to the people through the public media. And waste is supposed to be separated at the source, at home, at every institution, to make sure that paper is not mixed with banana peels, it is not mixed with glass bottles, it's not mixed with plastic bottles, but each is put in its own container and collected and transported to other designated places in a similar way. I must emphasize that this is not, it's not only Kenya that practices this, it's a global practice, and in many countries you will find that they have these color codes, dustbins marked as such. However, you realize that in our country and in most residential areas, this separation of waste at the source is not happening. You will easily find that from homes, what comes out of there is black bags which contain waste, and you cannot be able to tell which one is paper, which one is has bottles, or which one has what. And so our environment, therefore, continues to be degraded, and there is waste everywhere. However, we have some hope, because we have people attracted to waste, and they collect the goodies, the valuable things from waste. However, since the waste is not separated, they cannot collect as much as they would wish to do. And a day, if you spend a day in a dump site, you realize that those people, because they know where vehicles come from, vehicles that come from areas that put more valuables in their black bags, there is scrabble for those valuables. And so, what can we do to ensure that we get more from waste to solve the problem of unemployment in our country? One of the lessons that we learn is that this valuable waste, if it is not well handled, it pollutes rivers, it pollutes our soils, making the environment even more degraded. Hence the reason why we need to address the issue of waste. The advantage that we have is that with increase in population, there is more waste generated, and so we can say that we have a lot of resources available to alleviate poverty in our country. And so what we need is to empower the youth, to empower everybody to take advantage of the waste in the environment, to improve our livelihood, to make sure that we have more money in our pocket. And this is possible, as we are going to see in this video. Thank God we have a lot of waste in our environment, and so there is a lot of money out there. If we tap into it, we can be millionaires. Millionaires from waste lying in the environment. There is no need to burn our waste in our dump sites because we are burning money. We need to make sure that we tap into this resource and use it to provide jobs for our young people, to provide the money for ourselves. How can we do this? I will take you through several opportunities that are available. At this juncture, I want to introduce a common concept, the 3 R's, that is reduce, reuse, recycle. Because if we are to become millionaires through waste management, we have to embrace the 3 R's. And we have to make sure that we reduce the amount of waste which is getting into the environment. We must reuse whatever materials we have, and we must also recycle the materials that are at our disposal. So if, for instance, we we look around our homes, we have a lot of plastics. These plastics can be reused, and it can also be recycled. You find we have bottle tops at our homes, which can be used to make toys for our children. Instead of buying a toy, the children can make toys using bottle tops and some wires. And at the same time, if one has that passion to make toys, this is an additional revenue. You can have a toy shop. Can you imagine yourself having a toy shop that is packed with toys made from materials you collected from your environment, and these children buying those toys? This is an opportunity for one to own such kind of investment at a very low cost. Our country produces a lot of fruit. Incidentally, most of the fruits get ripe or get ready at the same time, and so there is usually an oversupply of fruits at particular times. Other times we don't have. So when we have a lot of fruit in the market, there is a lot of wastage. And so this is the waste that goes into our dump sites and lots there, and it generates a lot of greenhouse gases, which contributes to climate change in our country. This is an opportunity. If we tap into it, we can employ ourselves, we can become millionaires. One of the ways to deal with waste, waste fruit, or when we have an overproduction of fruit, is to produce fruit juice. And so what do you need to make fruit juice? It's only a blender and some know-how on how you can extend the life of the juice. And so this is one area that people can tap into. They need to generate fruit juice and sell it locally and abroad. The market is big for fruit juice. It can be packed and sold all over the country and abroad. This is an opportunity that people should exploit. The other aspect of fruits is the fruits can be dried. If you dry the fruits, you can extend the viability, lifespan of the fruit, so that it is available. You can enjoy it even when it is out of season. Imagine how much money somebody can make if you went to a supermarket which deals with fruits, and people insist on buying the fresh fruits. So when they look like they are drying up, people do not want those ones, they want only the fresh ones. If one could make a deal with the manager of a supermarket and correct these fruits and make sure that the fruit is dehydrated and packed properly, it will still go back to the same supermarket, and the same people who rejected it when it looked wrinkled, they could still buy it, but now it has come back now as with some value addition. This is an area that we need to exploit to make sure that we don't waste our fruits when they are in season, but we maximize what we get from the fruits. The other aspect is that fruits can also be made into pills or capsules. Technologies exist that can be used to tap into this, so that when we have a lot of fruit in the market, you you get it and turn most of it into capsules, into pills, and this will be available to people when the fruit is out of season. And this is another way of making sure that we have money in our pocket instead of having these fruits in the dump sites producing greenhouse gases and bringing about climate change. And so, from our environment, you'll also find that we have a lot of other things available. We have used materials such as chairs, such as plastic containers. We have used furniture. We have used clothes. We have sacks. Name it. You have all these examples of what people use and what later becomes waste. If you look around, you have a lot of that. And so you find that each of these materials is useful in a unique way. Its value addition is unique. For example, we have a lot of waste tires in the environment. And this waste tire, we have seen people pick it and burn it to extract wires, the steel wires, and in the process expose a lot of people to harmful effects of smoke, which has other chemicals that are harmful to human health. And so, instead of subjecting people to those harmful effects, I would wish to see people coming together, collecting the tires, liaising with the companies that buy, like the cement factories, liaising with NEMA for advice, and so that the tires are collected from your premise and used for energy, alternative energy, by the cement factories. And in the process, the one who collects the tires will get money, and so it's a source of employment instead of just looking at a tire just in the environment, which will be misused by some notorious people. The other elements in the environment which we use on a daily basis is plastics. We have a lot of plastics in the environment. We have plastic bottles, which are plenty, but they are just lying there in the environment. And also a lot of polythene bags. These are also very useful in many ways, and one should collect them and either sell them to another vendor or use it and add value to it in various ways. The other aspect is our polythene bags, which are there in plenty in our environment. I have seen women, especially, who are engaging in making of kiondo. These baskets from polythene bags. There are other products such as hats, which are made from polythene bags from our environment. And so your imagination is the limit on where one could go. And the plastic bottles, I have seen people making brooms for sweeping the floor in our houses, in our offices, on the streets. Imagine yourself being a supplier for brooms that are used by the municipality, environment department, or your brooms being popular in the local market. This is an opportunity that has not been exploited. Some places we don't have trees, and so where do you think people get brooms from? And so this is an opportunity that we need to exploit. The other aspect is beauty, waste industry. The waste in our environment can support the beauty industry. And so we have the beads of different colors made from our different colors of waste. And of course, all of you know that beads are not very cheap. And depending on how innovative you are, then the value of your bead goes up. And so look around, a lot of waste lying there, and it just requires your innovation. And you can make these beads, and you start making a contribution to the beauty industry. And so this is an untapped resource. We also have some places where the shells are also disposed in the environment, and they can be used to make very beautiful necklaces, which can fetch quite some money in the market. And so the key question is, why aren't we taking advantage of this resource that is in our environment? The other issue is wood, for example. We have a lot of wood in the environment. Walking anywhere, you find small pieces of wood of different sizes, big and small. They're just lying there in the environment. We can use it to make beads. We can use it to make some beautiful items, some curios, some to portray our culture, some signage for example, streets, for houses, for rooms. And so it depends on one's innovativeness. We can do all these things. We can turn them around to our advantage. And even to make a sugar dish, to make some plates, some wooden plates. Food can be served using wooden plates. And so the sky is the limit on how where one can reach. And in particular, our waste industry can support a very, very vibrant shops like the ones that target the tourists. So one can imagine supplying those innovative items to the tourist shops and thus earning an income out of that. The other thing that we can make from waste is pencils. You know that in lower primary especially, and wherever one wants to draw something, normally we use a pencil. And the demand for pencils is very high. And instead of using wood, it is possible to use old newspapers to make pencils. So you just use glue and the graphite inside, and then it dries up and it becomes a pencil. As I indicated earlier, we have a lot of organic waste which we generate from the foods that we eat, the fruits, the peels, the banana peels, the potato peels. All this is waste, and it goes to our dump sites, and when it rots, it is responsible for greenhouse gases. And we can compost this organic waste and therefore make organic manure, which we can use to fertilize our soils so that we produce more crops. As an entrepreneur, of course, not many people make this manure, make this organic fertilizer. And so this is an opportunity that exists. We have a lot of organic waste in our dam sites. You can liaise with the markets and collect the organic waste and compost it. We have a lot of foreign leaves all over, and so the sky is the limit to your imagination. At school level, organic waste is also plenty, and I've seen many schools where they have holes where they put the waste and they compost it. Dump sites, especially those that receive organic waste, there is a lot of manure there, which, if it could be collected, it can be used in the farms. For those who engage in this practice of composting, you can pack your organic fertilizer, your manure into bags, and you can sell it in the market. And their demand is great because the food security is a major problem in our country. This organic manure is very healthy. From it we get very healthy plants, and hence it helps to eradicate hunger in our country. I want to come back to plastics because with plastics you can make many things out of it. The big challenge with plastics is how to boil it, to make paste out of it. And for you to make the paste, you require high temperatures. And then in some instances, you need to make sure that you feed wherever you are boiling it. You must use small particles. And so it means that you have to undertake some shredding of the polythene bags, of plastics, to make sure that you have small pellets. The moment you have the pellets, then if you are able to feed it into a heating system, in order to get the paste, that thick substance that is fluid-like, that is what you need to make so many things. And this is an area that is responsible for value addition in use of polythene bags, because you can make many things. One of the things that you can make from the paste is polythene poles. Polythene poles, they fetch good price in the market because they are not eaten by termites, they are not affected by the adversities of weather, and so they fetch a great price. The other thing that one can make from this is, depending on the different shapes of items you want to make, you can make plates, you can make cups, you can make spoons, you can make buckets, you can make basins. All this are made from plastics, the recycled plastics. And so the biggest challenge is to make the paste. And I have seen instances where some people use the same plastic to provide the heat, so long as it's in a specialized chamber, and they use the same to make to heat and make the paste, and then make all those other things. And so this is an area that can be very nice. You can make as many things as possible. The other thing that one can make is blocks, building blocks, especially for building of pavements. Imagine the number of blocks that are needed in our country for making the pavements. You find that it's so easy to make this, and it has been done in some countries where you mix polythene pastes plus some volume of sand, and you put it in a specially shaped container, and then it cools down, and then you have your block. And so the market is so big for blocks, and this is an area that one can venture into, and it can be really lucrative for that purpose. And so what we are saying is there are so many things that we can make from polythene bags. Also, a visit to a dam site. The other thing that you see in plenty are the baby diapers. And these diapers are used to ensure that our children have the comfort of not being wet. And so they absorb urine from children for the whole night. And they are good for that purpose. But instead of them lying on the dam site, you find that this can be very useful also. That water holding capacity, that ability to absorb liquid, can be utilized to ensure that areas where you want to do some bit of irrigation, you can do it because they will be able to hold the water and hence support some form of irrigation. And so if anybody wants to start some tree nurseries in drylands, for example, this is a great opportunity for people who want to do some small-scale irrigation. It can be done using the diapers. And so instead of them lying on the dam site, let us use them for that purpose. The other aspect about waste is waste can support very vibrant art and crafts. And so from waste, you can make different kinds of items that are express our artistic perception of nature. So think of spiders, think of flowers, think of anything. Any piece of art, it can be supported by the variously colored waste that is in the environment. And this can be used to beautify our homes, beautify our compound, to make our environment more lively instead of having that waste lying out there. The other aspect is waste from our dam sites, especially the organic waste. We can use it to make briquettes, which are a source of energy for our homes. They are our equivalent for charcoal. Instead of using charcoal, we can compact the waste in such a way that we make briquettes, and this is a big source of money, especially for the urban people, where we have so many people and they require energy to cook, they require energy to warm the house, and so this is an opportunity that should be exploited. And these briquettes are nowadays available even in the supermarkets, and so why can't you be the supplier for the briquettes in the supermarket? The other aspect is organic waste also gives us biogas, and so your waste at home, depending on how much waste you generate, you can be able to become a producer of biogas. You just need to consult the relevant departments of government or private sector that have that specialty in designing biogas systems. And if you have a lot of biogas, you can package it and sell it out in the market. It is packaged using some specialized bags, and it's a very useful gas for cooking. For the oil that we use for cooking at home, in many countries, including Kenya, it is useful for making of biodiesel, which fuels our transport sector, our buses, our vehicles. Some of our vehicles use biodiesel, and so it is useful fuel which we can generate and sell it for that purpose. For the clothes, the old clothes that we have at home, there is no need of burning them or throwing them to the dustbins, to the street, out there in the environment where they make our environment dirty, because they can be used to make mattresses, for example. They can be used to make pillows, and so we just need to make sure they are well treated and innovatively designed to make the pillows, to make mattresses, and they can be used for that purpose. They can be used to feed, for making of sofa sets. I've seen them used for that purpose. And so our imagination, our creativity is limited to how we can use them. For sacks and other items that we have at home, we can also use them to make traditional dresses. Imagine how many skits are played in our country. Drama. I talk of drama. How many of these players wear special clothes? There are so many. Where do they get their clothes from? Of course, some of them look for specialized clothes which depict our culture, but they cannot get them. So, why can't you be the supplier for this traditional or specialized clothing that is as a result of your creativity in terms of what we have in our surrounding? So, I would urge you, of course, I've just given you a few hints about how you can make money from the solid waste, but your imagination is the limit. And I would urge you to look around, look at your environment, check what is there, and use it innovatively to create more jobs, to generate more money, to develop our beautiful country. For more information, in case you need help on the technical aspects of each of the items that I have discussed, I would request you kindly to get in touch with me. My address is given on this CD.